So this is not necessarily a widely known submission opportunity, but those who know it know that it's there. To the uninitiated, this looks like it might just be like a headlock pin or even a head and arm pin where for whatever reason Buddy Rogers did not collect both the head and arm of Thesz, whereas ordinarily you would. But again, this is like to the untrained eye, people might look at it this way. Because what's also there is a really nasty chest compressor choke. Um, this is the same choke that, and it also has like kind of an element of a neck crank to it as well. But one of the really early UFCs, Dan Severn, was submitted with this choke against Mark Coleman. So the mechanics of the choke are basically that with your chest compressed this way, it's suddenly kind of impossible to breathe. And like there's a strangulation element to it as well. Like you get quote unquote choked out this way? Yes, but more often than not, it's more like there's an instantaneous failure to be able to breathe, and it's just really unpleasant. It's painful, and it has a little bit of a neck crank element as well. There is like some cervical spinal crank element. It's also very similar to a chest compressor choke that we saw Dean Lister tap out against Josh Barnett in a Metamoris submission only event. And it was really incredible to watch at the time because this was a time when he really did not tap out. I mean, Dean Lister very rarely tapped out in any of his like ADCC fights or anything like that. He was considered a very hard guy to tap. But Josh Barnett got that head and arm control and turned it into a really vicious chest compressor choke. But if I remember correctly, Josh Barnett also hooked the leg with his other arm. So one arm was around the neck and the other arm was around the leg. But if you've ever been in this choke, it sucks. And it's hard to explain it to people because it doesn't really look like a quote unquote choke. But when your chest is compressed that way and all the weight from your rib cages is going directly down onto your opponent's core, it's just a tremendous amount of pressure. And it's definitely tappable. So it's one of those things you have to be on the receiving end to really experience it.